Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. From MA Lee here on Twitter. Wow, it seems like these patterns of the past are repeating themselves. It looks like we are on the verge of a new massive bull run, guys. This is what I mean about this 4-year cycle. The past has proven it over and over again, as early as 2011, and seeing the last height back in 2021. So the next bull run will change lives, and I have no doubt about this. If you take a look at this, guys, you can see bull runs in the past. Now, they were a lot shorter and a lot more volatile back when Bitcoin was still fairly new. In 2011, you guys can see this was a 3-year bull cycle. We saw that same kind of cycle form over only 3 years, 2011, 2012, and 2013. And then the cycle started to extend outward. So 2014, we saw that bear year. 2015 was similar to what we're seeing today in 2023. And then 2016, 2017 were those bull run years. Same with 2018. You guys can see down here, that was my first bear market year. And then 2019, this is what I'm comparing 2023 to today. And now, guys, going into 2024, we're going to see the same thing that we saw back in 2020 and 2021, hopefully topping in 2025. So, you know, this is a very good, I think a very good visualization of what we are to expect in this coming bull run. So I wanted to thank MA Lee here for posting that. Now, Rect Capital also bringing this to our attention with regards to BTC specifically. Accumulate on any deeper retrace in orange, hodl in light blue, reaccumulate in red, and enjoy the green. So just kind of another type of visualization here, showing you guys the periods that we saw back in 2019 and where we are today in 2023. So the pre-halving period, this is what we're in right now. And we could see a retracement. What they're saying is there is going to be another retracement period. And, you know, I mean, all things considered, we should be looking at the past to kind of get a sense of where the future will take us. Of course, it's not going to be a carbon copy. So we should also just remember that too. But the fact of the matter remains, you know, these cycles happen like clockwork, or have been happening like clockwork. So what we are to expect, basically knowing too, that the halving is happening, whether we like it or not, in April of 2024. So all things leading up to the halving period have generally checked out in the past, and we should expect that moving forward into the future. So guys, here's where we are right now for Bitcoin, and I put it here on the hourly because, as you guys can see, within the last hour, we are seeing a bit of a dip. It is wicking back up. I guess we should really pay attention and see, okay, are we going to continue to make our way up? Is this something like what we see in 2024 and 2025, where the Bitcoin price just continues to move up? Or is it going to be something like this, where we see it eventually falter and then make new lows? Now, you know, when we take a look at the chart, we take a look at other patterns, we take a look at retracement patterns, we take a look at the time it takes for these trends to retrace to. Let's not forget, guys, after a big move up for Bitcoin, what happens? Okay, these moves bring Bitcoin up, right? What tends to happen after that? Well, we tend to move sideways before a retracement. Sideways retracement. Sideways retracement. And how long does that usually take? Well, it's different in all kinds of cases. In this case, it was 54 days. Let's bring it up here. In this case, it was about 90 days, so about 3 months. In this case, it was about 80 days, give or take. So after the pump, where are we today? We are in day 21. So there is still a lot of time for this to retrace, and I do think it will. I don't think we're going to continue to see highs all the way to the top. And, you know, but that's not to say that we're not going to see more highs. JP Morgan, though, they're already trying to be cute here and trying to look clever by saying the crypto market rally looks overdone. And so this is now the official statement that they've made. Digital assets have seen strong gains in the last month due to excitement about the potential approval of a Bitcoin spot ETF, but this bullish sentiment may be misplaced, the report said. So now, you know, okay, based on what we know, the market pumps, we move sideways, it retraces downward. I mean, we can't assume that this is going to happen again, that we're just doing this and then we're going to retrace downward, and that might take, I don't know, 90 days. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. We will know when the bottom hits. I mean, it'll just feel kind of bottomy. At that point, I will let my Patreon subscribers know at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. what I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to be cost averaging into the positions I currently hold, or if I'm going to be getting into some new positions. By the way, if you are subscribed to the Patreon, I did just post part 3 of the roundup, looking at my entire portfolio, the $10,000 plus portfolio, and we're going to be monitoring this, guys, looking for some last minute potential buy-in targets in the coming weeks, maybe month. So if that's something you're interested in, you can find me patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. So far, that's where we're at. If you're a crypto trader, this is what you should be paying attention to at this point. JP Morgan, saying, okay, it's cooling down now, and they probably realize, like I said, that this is going to be the next phase. We are going to see Bitcoin retrace. So they're saying a spot Bitcoin ETF approval would help crypto markets to attract fresh new capital as the newly approved ETFs see inflows. And the approval would cement a win for the crypto industry and a setback for the SEC, thus making it more likely that going forward, the SEC approach towards the crypto industry will soften. The bank says it is skeptical of both arguments. Instead of new capital entering crypto, it is more likely that existing capital will move from current Bitcoin products such as the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, Bitcoin futures ETFs, and listed mining companies into newly approved spot ETFs. So they're saying because new products are going to be flooding the market, that we will actually see these new products, or rather current money that's already been in the crypto space, we will see that move into some of these new products. JP Morgan notes that such ETFs already exist in Canada and Europe and have gained little interest from investors since their inception. Well, I mean, for one, the population of Canada is only 1/10 of that in the United States. So then you take the portion of investors, and that's way smaller than what we could assume people would be investing in the US. While the Ripple and Grayscale court rulings represent legal defeats for the SEC, it is far from clear that the regulatory tightening of the crypto industry will lessen significantly going forward, given how unregulated this industry is. So it's interesting, though, that they did mention the Ripple lawsuit here in their report, in their analysis. But JP Morgan, I think they've realized it. They have their thumb on the pulse. They realize this is kind of the top now. Now we're going to see this retracement, and they're calling it trying to look clever to their clients. Now, John Deaton here also posting this, guys. Friday is going to be a big day. If there is no answer, do we see a temporary pullback? Well, I think, the narrative is going to reflect that. There's not going to be an answer. And he's talking about Bitcoin ETFs. If the answer is yes, do we see a God candle touching $50,000 and then a huge pullback? Sorry, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it sure is fun to talk about. So he was retweeting out Joe Carlsar's tweet here. We should know by Friday if a spot Bitcoin is going to be approved in 2023 or if it's kicked until 2024. Chances are we are going to see it moved till 2024. And then we will see, the narrative will reflect that, but then we will see that price moving up. So as of right now, Bitcoin price has retraced a little bit. We're seeing Bitcoin sitting at about 36,700. Let's bring up XRP real quickly here. XRP is also retracing. XRP sitting at about 65 cents, just over 65 cents there. So, we have seen quite a run up for XRP, and this retracement is, par for the course. The rest of the crypto market is also cooling down. So as you guys can see here, in the last 24 hours, we are seeing mostly red in the crypto market. So people taking profits, prices slumping a little bit, but guys, again, all par for the course. We got to look at the main picture and what's going on globally. Cryptic Poet here posting this. Okay, crypto exchange BitHump planned South Korean IPO in the second half of 2025. Interesting that they're choosing the second half of 2025 to go live. On the Korean stock exchange. Korean cryptocurrency exchange BitHump plans to go public in its native South Korea, according to reports. The exchange aims to list on the KOSDAQ, the South Korean counterpart to the NASDAQ, though it is also open to an initial public offering on the country's main stock market, the KOSPI. We selected Samsung Securities as our manager for initial public offering. We aim to go public during the second half of 2025. So I think, they're saying it in Korea. They're not dummies. They realize the market is going to rally by 2025. They realize cryptocurrency is going to be all the rage. They realize FOMO is going to kick in and maybe they can make some money off the FOMO. So, we just got to hang tight, guys. Really, this is the wait and see time, a time to really kind of hedge our bets, diversify into other cryptocurrencies. And then, we reap the rewards in 2025. Maybe even sooner. We'll see if some of my coins pop even sooner than that. Anyway, going to keep moving, guys, because, in terms of a broader financial outlook, we're getting more pundits here talking about the idea that gold is becoming more and more prevalent, and the price is going to get very costly very soon. Check this out.
Peter, how do you expect gold to do during a rising debt environment?
Well, I think the single bullish factor for gold is the continuing major accumulation by key central banks, particularly China. Uh, they don't do these things for trades. They don't do it because of speculation. They're doing it because they want to get away from one thing, which is the dollar. That's why they've been aggressive sellers of things priced in dollars, particularly bonds. And they recognize the changes in the world that are happening because of what's happening to BRICS. I think it's very important before we go to spend a couple of minutes on what this BRICS situation could mean. And I'd love to hear Michael's view, because that is going to require, to be successful, something different than the dollar. And that's what they're working on. And many of us are speculating it will be either a direct new currency or something that has partial backing of commodities, in particular gold. And that's one of the major reasons why those countries have been accumulating it so aggressively.
Okay. Michael, do you agree that a gold-backed currency could be in the works?
No, I think there's some simple numbers I'll leave you with, David. 67% of the reserve assets globally are US dollars today, 7% of gold. The facts are undeniable. Over the last 2 to 5 years, the Chinese, the Russians, the Indians have been selling their treasuries relentlessly. And now the money's showing up and they're buying gold. Why are they doing that, David? Well, US dollar is the reserve currency of the world. I'm not here to say it's going to change. Reserve currencies take decades to rotate out of. But what you're going to see over time is if you're selling US dollar, are you going to buy the Japanese yen? Highly unlikely. Are you going to buy the euro? Highly unlikely. You're going to buy the won? Probably not at this point in time. So what do you do if you're selling your US dollars? You've got to buy money, real currency. The currency that's existed for 2,000 years is gold. And you're seeing that in relentless central bank purchasing. So US dollar, 67%, gold, 7% of FX reserves. I see over time that 7% going to 10, 12, 15%, US dollar going from 67 to 60. That would have massively robust implications for the gold price going forward. And you just have to ask yourself, what else are they going to buy? And I think that's the key where you're seeing the purchase of central banks is they're rotating out of the US dollar into gold. I'm not so concerned about when the BRICS start their own currency, what's going to replace it. What's replacing it now is gold. Gold's been money for thousands of years, will continue to be money for thousands of years. And that's the trend we're seeing, real money flows. In the physical commodity market, you're seeing that. It hasn't translated yet to the equity markets, but that's the next step. And that's the most exciting part for investors, to be able to capture that in the equity markets.
So a lot of interesting points here, but the thing that I found most interesting, that transition from a world reserve currency from the US dollars, this gentleman here, he says it takes decades. So we're not going to see something change poof like that. We're going to see these countries, these mega economies, India, China, Russia, the BRICS nations, right? Them going to transition, and they might not choose a currency and they might not create a currency right away, but they are buying gold, that we know, so they could transition to gold first and then move on to a new reserve currency. So there could be that transition period, guys. As he said, gold right now is at 7%, but we could see it go up to 10, 12, while US dollar dominance goes from 67% down to 60 in the coming years. So it's going to be baby steps. Something else that I noticed, though, is that they're looking for something else to invest in. And so if XRP is readily available, and if XRP is going to be that valuable lubricant for the financial system to transmit currency to currency or exchange any type of currency to commodity, anything really, anything of value, well, why not purchase XRP? And maybe that's how the price could get high enough to keep facilitating these transactions and stay at that high enough price, similar to what we are seeing now, in the precious metals markets where, gold doesn't really fluctuate that much, for example. Anyway, wanted to thank Subjective Views here for posting that. It's looking as though Uphold is noticing more institutional interest, guys, in XRP. This one courtesy of Michael Branch here. XRP is witnessing surging institutional interest as last week it saw its rank among the top traded assets on Ascent from Uphold, the company's new OTC trading platform for institutional investors specifically. So they are noting that institutions, guys, want to buy XRP through their Ascent platform. And so Dr. Martin Hisbach, head of research at Uphold and founder of Alpine Blockchain Consultants, he called attention to the development in a weekly review of the crucial developments surrounding the Uphold Ascent platform last week. And here's what he said. Top traded assets on Uphold Ascent this week. Okay, so this was for November 4th to the 11th, so just ending on the weekend there, was BTC, XRP, KAS, Link, and XDC. We listed TIA on Uphold Wallet and enabled for trading on Ascent. Celestia is a modular data availability network that securely What does he say here? Securely scales with a number of users. So he goes on, talks about that particular coin. And then our BITRUE too is now integrated with Uphold too. So you guys can check all that out. That is the Ascent platform for institutional investors. I mean, if you, of course, fall within that category. Notably, HBAR has adopted a pattern of highlighting this metric on a weekly basis. Last week's disclosure revealed that XRP also clinched a spot amongst the top traded cryptocurrencies on Ascent from October 29th to November the 5th. So it has really been noted that the XRP trading in and amongst the institutional players is growing and has been noted on the Uphold Ascent platform. So guys, that is also spelling out what we could expect from this bull run. Again, these are over-the-counter trades, so it wouldn't be affecting the price in the retail market on spot exchanges. Anyway, wanted to thank Dr. Martin HBAR and, of course, Michael Branch for posting that. Want to keep moving because BondCrypt Digital Asset Advocate here posted this. Okay, the XRP Ledger is rolling out another upgrade. As we've been hearing, lots of upgrades are happening on the XRPL. They're rolling out another upgrade as part of a 2-week activation countdown with backing from over 80 validators, 80% of validators. So the XRPL is gearing up for new features, and users on the Ripple version 1.11 or earlier versions are urged to update their software, particularly for the critical fixed reduce offer version 1 addressing DEX issues or decentralized exchange issues. So that is the biggest update. Fixed reduce offers version 1. This amendment allows protocol changes with 80% validator support within 2 weeks, prompting users to upgrade for continued engagement. From the taker's standpoint, fixed reduce offers version 1 can enhance exchange rates on the DEX, making reduce offers more appealing. So that is what is occurring there on the XRP Ledger. If you guys remember, in September, the XRPL rolled out its version 1.12.0 featuring significant additions like fixed reduce offers version 1. This update not only addresses bugs, but also made amendments to the automated market maker and clawback functions, as we talked about last month. Users were urged to update by September the 20th to ensure a smooth experience and participate in the voting process for new amendments like XLS 30. So just some more information here, guys, with regard to the XRP Ledger. A little clip here of David Schwartz talking about it as well. This is from the Apex 2023 Summit. So I will link all this in the description if you guys are interested. Wanted to thank BondCrypt for posting that. And another great tweet thread here, guys, by Flip the Chain. I got to say, XRP will diverge away from price speculation. So we're all wondering about the price. I mean, the spec run is going to be one thing, but the price for XRP moving forward, why are we seeing the glitches, for example? Is something happening in the background? Pricing of XRP is predicated on its use with central banks and financial institutions. This is, I think, something we can all come to an agreement on. That is not happening at the present. We also know that. Right now, the price moves on speculation, like many tokens, including Bitcoin. So this is why we're seeing XRP at 65 cents today. There is no real world utility yet that's dictating where the price is going to go. As the last sluggish sector, financial payments, is digitized gradually, XRP pricing will break away from the herd. No amount of speculation will affect it once the banking guide rails are ready. Neither will Bitcoin having events or random news articles. So guys, at a point, we're going to see the decoupling of XRP from the rest of the crypto market. Only a few tokens and blockchains can offer payment rails for banks in under seconds for pennies like XRP, right? Sending $50 million cross borders costs 30 cents, just to give some real perspective. To be fair, not every blockchain wants in this game though, but this is about XRP. Central banks have to adopt together as a whole. That's why it's referred to as flipping the switch, because we need to have a consensus on the financial system. These blockchains need to be interoperable. Luckily, the XRPL has, been doing this from the beginning, but it's a matter of getting everybody on board, right? I think Ripple is so far ahead at this point in the game that now it's about everybody else coming together and be like, yeah, we need to do this. We need to do this. So compliances and regulations, all differing from country to country, must be synchronized for CBDCs. Pilot tests have been years in the running between XRP and central banks. Many partnerships have been created to provide on and off ramps and custody. This is the fruit of over 10 years of forging these relationships. ISO 20022 has its debut on November 19th. So that's the other thing we have to remember, guys. This coming weekend is, apparently, according to all the reports that we've been noting, mid-November, this is the time where we're transferring over. The grace period for all the banks to get on board with those new global standards ends in late 2025. So that is the drop dead deadline. Due to the nature of every bank needing interoperability with one another, these standards are mandatory for CBDCs. The pivot year is 2024. Ripple alliances are already in place in Japan, Australia, UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, Africa, Switzerland, Dubai, UAE, and the BRICS nations as well, with the BIS, IMF, and more. When the banks plug in, the small retail investor won't make a dent in the price. Each XRP has to be very high, a very high value to move a large part of the $7 trillion daily on the FX markets worldwide, guys. And just note, that is just FX markets. There are so many other types of markets out there where there is the possibility of using XRP. This does not include tokenization. Okay, so here he goes. This does not include tokenization of bonds, real estate, and other assets. XRP won't have an exclusive, but it will handle vast amounts. On-demand liquidity is a critical component as well. And so, here it is. There's not enough liquidity in some currencies to move money very easily, say from Africa to Japan. XRP has solved the problem and tested with over 30 central banks already. Many economies will boom, and I don't use that term lightly. XRP transports the currency. No other token can do this on this scale of interoperability with this kind of liquidity. It is revolutionary. So when we look at the potential for XRP, we look at where the price could go, and we pay attention to what is happening. I mean, transacting in gold is very cumbersome. These central bankers might eventually have to invest in something other than gold. So right now they're buying gold, but guys, that could change at the drop of a hat when a new financial system comes into place. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.